Welcome to the Friday at 4 podcast series with your host Charles Luttrell and co-host Steve Kent.
Steve, welcome back to Friday at 4. How are you?
I'm doing well, Chuck. How are you?
Yeah, fantastic. Another great day. Another great day,
Yeah,
another great week. Things are going good.
good.
How about yourself?
Good. Things are doing well. It's a good week. Yeah, I'm real happy with the way it went. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Awesome. So we got a pretty good topic again this week, in our opinion anyway. I don't know how everybody else feels when they're watching these, but hey, I think this is a great topic. You started off, buddy.
All right. So we all, from the time we're young, I can't speak for everybody, but for many of us, we don't know what we want to do. So as we start to grow, we see different people, um, TV, cable, whatever we do, social media, and we think that we have an idea of what we want to do when we grow up. Um, Many people, including myself, have an idea and change, have another idea and change and change and change. And there's a pattern here because, I mean, there's a lot of people that are 50, 60, 70 that still don't know what they want to do.
Right?
But the idea is try something, see if you like it. If you don't like it, and you have to give it a decent amount of time, and we understand this, you can't say in, 3 days I don't like something, but give it some time and build on what I'm going to call your dream and go for something. So I'll give you my story and then we'll let Chuck tell his story. So when I was in high school, I had a teacher, didn't know what I wanted to do. And my grades were average at best. I was not a good student. I'll admit that I was not. But I had a teacher in my senior year who was an accounting teacher. And because I liked him, I went to school for accounting. And I realized very quickly I didn't like it. Now, it wasn't the teacher, I didn't like the subject, but I kept going and I kept going. And it took me 6 years to get a 4 year degree. And that is a true story. Um, but I got my degree because I realized I could not be a student forever. So seriously, so my parents were pretty like, you're done. So I
You're done.
finished my schooling. But when I went to work, I went in a different field. I went into IT and information technology operations, and it was really cool and I liked it. And I ended up building a 32 career year in IT because I liked it. I realized at the end of 32 years, it was not what I really wanted to do. And there were a lot of reasons behind which are more than for this segment. But when I left it in 2012, I had a dream of helping people more than helping businesses. Because what I did in IT was I was helping businesses. Now I wanted to help people and families. So I opened up a business, which I did not realize but never should have opened. But my dream was that business. And I stayed 2 years, and I've heard said this before, and people who are new are going to hear it again, or a while are going to hear it again. I had no knowledge of how it was going to be to open and run a business because in the corporate world, you don't learn that. You work for somebody else, they do it all. So
Sure.
I stayed for 2 years and it was an absolute and complete failure on every level because I didn't know what I was doing. The dream was there, but the skills behind it were not. So over the next bunch of years, I hopped around job to job to job, knowing that I wanted to help people, but didn't know what that meant. How do I put it into practice? And it really kept me going for like 5 years. And around 19 in 2020, I came across a group of people who had experienced a lot of the failures that I went through. Not that it makes it right, but they understood what I was going through. They worked their way out of it. So they helped me to write my own mind, help me put plans in place to help me achieve my dream.
Right.
And that was the start. So in 2021 is when I started my business. So now it's 5+ years. But the dream kept changing to a certain extent, but the execution of how to get that dream built was what keeps getting adjusted and modified and revamped and all those words. And now that I've been doing this for the last 5 and building my dream, I am absolutely working hard. I'm not going to tell you it was easy, and it continues to be a challenge.
Yeah.
But when you have a dream and you're going down that road and you see, in my case, I wanted to help people and families, I'm doing that. And when I sit down, and I'm going to use Chuck as the example, when I walk into Chuck and we start to talk about what I do, because Chuck has never been educated, it's a process of passing that knowledge on to him in a way he will understand. And the day that he gets it, and he already has because we've had these conversations, but the day that Chuck gets it, I can see like the eyes light up. You can see the change in attitude. So I know that my dream is being realized because I'm helping somebody, in this case, Chuck, to lead a better life financially.
Yeah.
So years, and again, I've been in the business world at this point, it's 46 years. Okay, yes, I'm older. Okay, but 46 years. So the bottom line of this is pursue your dream. You may decide what you like is great, and your whole life will be in that particular thing, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But if you don't like it, your dream could change. You get older, you have a family, technology changes, finance changes, everything changes. So as it changes, you may find something else that you like and pursue that dream. But
Yeah.
the idea is to continue to pursue. You work
Yeah.
real hard for a long amount of time. Do something you like that you want to do.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing of where I wanted to get to. So that was my real short story of pursuing a dream. Wasn't always easy, but keep moving forward.
Yeah.
Chuck?
That's great. And to hear you, condense it like I'm going to do, right? Because I'm all over the place with my, I've had so many dreams in my life and done so many different things as you have. In the beginning, back in the 80s, whoa, to me back in the 80s when I was just a young man, I was into computers. I learned all about them. I
Mm-hmm.
studied them. I had my first computer was an Atari, and I was all about computers. I stayed home. I worked on them. I did it all. And then, as I went through my life, I did odd jobs of construction, and then I actually went to school for carpentry and found out that is not what I want to do with my life.
Mm-hmm.
I then I want to work with wood. No, 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 no. I no hammer and nails. I'm moving on. Then I got into construction with my dad with the glass company, and I really liked it. What I learned about that was they had taught me that to use my mind for more than just a construction mind. I was able to read blueprints, make buildings put together. And I learned at the age of 18 that I have some talents. I have a brain.
That's
But
a
at the
good
time, I
thing.
didn't know it. At the time, I didn't know it. I wasn't the scarecrow. Oh, man, look
Hmm.
out.
Yeah.
But as you fast forward into my 40s, when I started working in, the telecommunications field as the supervisor in customer service, I learned I had a passion to help people, coaching, mentoring, and that was my spark. That's what really fueled me to say, I like to help people. And I was very passionate, and they could see it, you know. And as I carried that through what I'm doing now, especially as I started the mystery shopping company, because as I was a mystery shopper, I loved giving that feedback to companies who needed to know the truth, not just a made up, oh, I'm going to eat for free. So just me to real report whatever it is and I get to eat for free. I was serious about it. That's how I credit my own company about it because I was serious. I want to do it, which led me to what I'm doing today with Chasing the Stars. That is when people hear me talk about it, they can see my passion, feel my passion, know that this is what I am meant to do is get out there, show these businesses that what you see online is not always the truth. Let me show you the truth. Let me help you put video and stuff together to show you what's actually happening online and what I'm seeing undercover in your business. And I just had a conversation with a client, potential client, 2 days ago. And because my undercover didn't really work because I was the only one in there, and I had to expose myself to get what I needed. And it kind of made me go, ah, but I had to do it. I had to do it. And which it wasn't undercover, still okay, because I
Yeah.
got the job done and actually talked to a general manager of a place that I feel it was an awkward conversation, but it had to be done at the time because I knew I wasn't going to get a second chance,
Right.
you know? And as I got my car and drove away, I felt awkward, but I felt that passion. I felt that drive to say, that is exactly why I do what I do, you know? And that really fueled me to keep going and came home and got on a computer and just started doing more, emailing more and
Nice.
emailing more and not stopping, as you say, not stopping chasing that dream because
Mhm.
I know what I'm destined to do now with my life. I'm helping people, and that is what I want to do. And that's where I'm at,
Nice.
you
Nice.
know?
And you made a comment about that not everything you see and hear on the internet is accurate. And that is true.
Yeah.
And people, and I don't remember the exact way that it goes, but something like believe from the internet, believe like half of what you read and 10% of what you hear, or however it goes. But the fact is, when you're going to work on the internet, be careful of what you hear and read. There's a lot of fake stuff out there. Now with AI getting better and better, they're putting complete garbage up,
Yeah.
but don't just believe it. Do your
Yeah.
own research. Because if
Yeah.
you believe somebody, it could derail your dreams forever.
Yeah. I'm telling you, 99% of TikTok is incorrect,
Wow.
wrong, AI, and about
Wow.
75% of Instagram is fake junk. Yeah.
Wow.
It's amazing as I use this daily, I'm looking at these things because it's a big part of what I do
Hmm.
because social media is a big part of the online presence for these companies. I'm watching and I'm learning what these companies are doing with their business. And I've learned that a big percentage of what you see out there is not real. And
Hmm.
I am almost certain that the younger generations are looking at that and believe in what they're seeing.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, it's
Yeah.
unfortunate.
Because, yeah, they don't necessarily know any different. They
Yeah.
don't.
And that's the thing, right? We got experience. We know history. We know a lot of the history. We
Hmm.
see the history,
Right.
but they don't see that. They just know what they see on
Yeah.
these apps. And it's
Yeah.
scary. It's really
Yeah.
scary what
It is. It
AI
is. It
is
is.
doing, you know? Yeah.
So I'm going to go in a slightly different direction, kind of related, but maybe. Um, what I learned, and again, I'm talking about my own personal experience, but what I learned in 32 years of corporate, yes, it was different companies, but it was the same IT space. I worked crazy hours. Yes, I rose to pretty high levels in many of those companies. And yes, I made some very good money in some of those companies. But I realized, and it took me a long time to realize that I was not pursuing my dream.
Yeah.
I was pursuing my manager's dream or my manager's manager's dream.
Yeah.
Pursue your dream. Now, I am not suggesting that you quit a job to go pursue a dream. Please, I'm not doing that.
Don't
But
do
what
what
I
I did.
am, yeah, yeah. But what
I
I
did
am
it.
suggesting is if you're in a company and you want to pursue something else, and we've had this, one of these, or multiple of these podcasts before, if you want to pursue something else, keep your full time and start looking at something part time to
Yeah.
see if you really like it and want to pursue it.
Mhm.
Especially in this economy, don't quit a job. It
Yeah.
may be a while before you can get another one.
Yeah.
So
True.
keep the job, keep the salary, keep the benefits, but
Yeah.
pursue something maybe at night on a
Mhm.
weekend, and then see if you like it and give it 3 months, 6 months. This way you
Right.
don't lose the salary, the benefits. Your cost of entry into this new job is typically small because you may not have to maybe put up any money or
Right.
maybe not buy any clothes, uniforms and things. So do it part time until you really, really want to. The reason I went full time into my business in 2013 is because I had left my full time job. So
Yeah.
I really had no choice. I had to make money somewhere. So, but if I had to do it again, I would have done it part time to get started.
Yeah. And I'm going to take it in the opposite direction now. I'm going to say that the way I did it was I just completely walked away. I packed my desk up,
Hmm.
grabbed my things, put them in a bag, and I walked out the door. Was I scared? Yes. Was I crying? Yes. I just left a job that was paying pretty good money. I was doing well.
Hmm.
I walked away, had no idea what I was going to do,
Hmm.
but I knew I had a game plan in my mind of what I wanted to happen. And I say it all the time without being religious and all of that and being spiritual and stuff. But I leaned on the universe to say, all right,
Hmm.
this is what I want. I'm going to pursue my dream.
Yep.
And I stuck with it. And I got out there. And it was harsh days where I cried, sitting behind that
Hmm.
steering wheel. I cried saying, what am I going to do with my life? Until one day I said, you know what? Sit back, shut up, suck it up, be a man,
Hmm.
let the universe show you what's going to happen. And I'm telling you, Steve, it worked.
Hmm.
And I'm telling you, it worked because I did not cloud my vision with doubt, fear, anxiety.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
said, I want this and it's coming to me. It's going to work. And it did. So let's fast forward now to today, to where I have those doubts, fears, and anxieties
Hmm.
again. But I'm
Hmm.
learning to take myself back to that day to say, remember
Yep.
back in 2016 when you decided to say, screw the corporate world, keep moving. And I keep in my mind to say, Chuck, you're going to be okay. And I'm pursuing that dream. And my dream is step at a time, baby
Yep.
steps, one day at a time, 1 hour, 1 second, 1 minute.
Yep.
And I'm steadying my course because I know what I want. And I know I see the future me. I see what I want to happen with this, and I can see it. My vision is clear. Now, could it be, 6 months, a year, 10 years that's going to happen? Who knows the timeline? But I'm
Yep.
studying my course to do what I
Hmm.
have to do to get what I want to follow my dream. And I'm not letting off the gas pedal.
Good. God, it's great to hear. And that's a great example for the audience. If you have a dream, I'll go a different route. Rome was not built in a day. So if you have a dream to build something, to, whatever it is, start bigger picture and write down what it's going to take. Find as many, do the research. How many steps are there to achieve that dream? Within
Yeah,
each step, what are the sub steps? And then, to your point, take it one at a time. Could be a time factor that you can't do more than one thing at a time. Could be a money factor because you don't have enough money to do it. So do it one at a time. And once you have that first bottom level success after success, the momentum builds up here. And that's the key. Keep telling yourself you can. You can do it. You will do it. Again,
yeah,
no timelines because we don't know what's going to happen.
right.
But keep saying to yourself, I can, I will,
Yeah.
and go
We
for it.
are we are our own worst critic because our mind is wired
100%.
that way to be defensive. And you know that. We will
Yep.
tell ourselves
Yep.
we can't in a heartbeat because that's how we're wired. We're wired to
Right.
defend ourselves. Whoa, whoa, we can't
Right.
do this stuff. But
Yeah.
as we get over that and we
Hmm.
tell ourselves, we write down our goals, we pursue these dreams that we have step by step, break it
Hmm.
down,
Yep.
you'll get to those steps to where you need to get to. And I've learned that is, I had this big dream of I'm traveling the country, getting an RV, and I'm going to drive around the country and do my show, and that's it.
Hmm.
I didn't think about those baby steps. Well, whoa, wait a minute, Chuck, you got to start here. You got
Hmm.
to have game plan set. And so I went backwards. I said, all right, let me lay this out,
Okay.
and that's where I'm at now. I'm at the steps to where I am just about ready to roll this thing to go across the country and pursue my dream, you
Good.
know? Yeah,
Don't ever give up. Don't
yeah,
ever give up.
yeah,
Yes, we're our own worst enemy, but we're also our own best cheerleader.
yeah.
Become your cheerleader. Take the baby steps. Reward yourself every time you do something right. Don't minimize it. There's a lot that goes into every decision and completing every decision. And when you get there, do it right. Do it right. Just
Something that I've heard several times in my life now that I still struggle with today. And they say, Chuck, you need to give yourself more credit than you
yeah.
do.
Hmm.
Because you said the best, right? We got to be our best cheerleader. And that's something I'm not. And I don't know why I struggle with that, and I'll put it out for the audience to say, look, if you're just like me, I struggle with that, you know, that can-do mentality of being my own cheerleader to say, let's go, hoorah, because I struggle with saying that I can when I know I'm there. I don't know what that is. It's I don't know. I think all of us are like that again because our brains are wired to be that defensive
Our
mode,
brains are wired,
you know?
but also if, and I don't mean you, I'm talking generic statement, if you're constantly told you're not good enough, you may think you are, but because the world around you is keep saying, no, you're not, after a while you start to believe it.
Yeah,
And it defeats the good inside you because the outside forces are much bigger and stronger than you as an individual. And a lot of
yeah,
people back down and then they lose it
yeah,
all.
yeah.
So, keep fighting back. There was something that somebody put out that I work with the other day on Instagram. And it was something about you are, I forget how they said it. Something like you can, something like stop fighting and move forward. And I forget exactly how it was phrased, but it was along the same lines of oh, I know what it was. If somebody tells you that you can't do something, the best thing you can do is to close your mouth, walk away, get it done, and come back and show it to the person that said you can't. Never say anything, just show it to them. You'll never get a fancy car. Here's my car. You'll never get a big house. There's my house. You'll
Yeah,
don't say anything. Don't say anything.
yeah,
Prove them wrong. Get it done. Kind of wave and keep going, and then take them out of your life.
yeah. So two things to that, right? The first one I want to quickly mention about that is that happened to me. I won't go into details about it because it's kind of personal. A thing that I had accomplished in 7 years,
Mm,
very successful with that happened. Someone told me I couldn't do something, and
mm.
I did it. Only 1% of the world can do what I did. And I
Wow.
did it. Yeah,
Nice.
it's a very small percentage. And
Mm,
anybody that knows me that's watching this knows what I accomplished. And if
okay.
you want to know, feel free to message me and I'll let you know the details. But I don't want to put that out there, because of what I did. It was not illegal, nothing
Right.
wrong. But
Okay. As long as
what
it
I
wasn't
did was
illegal, we're okay.
it wasn't illegal, right? It wasn't wrong. It
Okay.
was it was something I had accomplished because someone said I couldn't do it. And don't tell me
Got
I
it.
can't do something. But on the other note of that, what I want to get a little vulnerable here with something that I can. And I think I've mentioned this before in another podcast. I want to get a little vulnerable with a little personal me. Ever since I've been separated and divorced, that killed my drive.
Mm,
I felt like I was a loser. I felt like I had nothing. I was nothing.
mm,
And it took me 12 years to get over that hump of, yeah,
mm,
it took me 12 years
mm.
to realize that you're not a loser. Divorce happens.
Hmm.
things happen in life. You have to deal with them and move forward.
Right.
And ever since I got out of that 12-year, you know, slump that I was in,
Mm.
I'm where I am today because I'm no longer thinking that way, right? I
Good.
learned to just listen to the few friends that I have who guided me a little bit to say, look, you're not a loser, man. You are a good
Hmm.
person. You got to keep moving forward,
Yep.
because I let it drain my life for 12
Mm.
years. It's a
Wow.
long time, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. It
it's a
is.
long time, but I got through it,
Good.
and I'm on the other side and moving forward.
There's a and I'm full of sayings today. Um, Comfort is on the other side of uncomfortable. So get uncomfortable to then have the comfort that you're looking for.
Yeah.
And it happens to me all the time. There are things I just don't want to do because they're uncomfortable. But
Yeah.
when they're done and now you can breathe and relax, yes, why did I wait so long to do this? But again, you're playing with the mind and it plays tricks. And yeah,
Yeah. That's something I learned too, is that the things you fear the most will get you through what you're supposed to be doing. Think
yep.
about that. If you have a dream, but you're
Mhm.
afraid of talking to business owners, well, go
Mhm.
talk to them, because that is what's going to get you out of that fear, because you go talk to them and that could boost your business forward. And that's one thing that I started when I
Yes.
first started my mystery shopping company. I was afraid to talk to business owners. I really was. I
Mm.
drive up to a restaurant, get out, get right back in the car and say, I can't do this, and go home.
Mm.
Yeah. Until one day I said, well, let me try email. And it worked brilliantly, you
Oh,
know?
okay.
Yeah, it worked brilliantly. And then it started getting me into the ties. And once I know I'm emailing people, I know, and then I start
Mm.
going, and it changed. And then I grew to being able to, talk to people and get in front of people. But that was my biggest fear. Got me moving forward.
Yeah. Got to get over that fear. It
Yeah,
can stop you
absolutely.
dead in your tracks.
Yeah.
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 And it's easy to say get over it, but you and I have both been through it. If you don't
Yeah.
get past that fear, it'll stop you.
Yeah. I've been through it several times,
Mm.
especially when I was building the app. The
Mhm.
first time at the mystery shopping company, the second time around with the mystery shopping company, because that it didn't fail. It wasn't what people wanted.
Mm.
This new economy, people didn't want to hear about secret shopping, mystery shopping. It just isn't. It's not what they wanted. And then
Mhm.
I kind of pivoted a little bit, started with the podcast, and that kind of opened people
Mm.
up a little bit. So I'm pushing
Good.
forward through this new venture now.
Good.
So
Good. Nice.
yeah,
Nice. Good stuff. Yeah. It's yeah. And like I said, never ever give up. It's your dream. Don't let somebody tell you it's no good because it's your dream. And
yeah,
people who will tell you stop don't have their own or
yeah.
can't find something or stick to something. So they're making your life miserable because they're miserable.
Misery loves
Don't ever stop.
company. Yep,
Yeah, it
misery loves
does.
company. Yeah,
It
and
does.
I avoid it like the plague.
Don't ever stop.
Look, I got
Nobody
enough
said it's
misery to
easy.
go on in my life, man. I can't let anybody else drag their misery with me. So I keep pushing forward through it, and
Yeah.
I love what I do. I'm very passionate. And anybody hears my spiel when I talk about my business, they hear it and they go, man, you are really passionate about what you do. I really love that idea and I love what you're doing. And I'm sure you get the same thing, when you're talking to people and your potential
Hmm.
clients, they probably hear the same thing, that you know what you're talking about. You know your
Yeah.
business, you know what you're doing. And it
But you
comes out
have to.
because when they talk to us, they can see and feel and hear that drive to just want to help you be better.
But you have to. In this
Yeah.
day and age, I still remember in 1987 when the stock market crash hit and people were like out on the street begging for a job, looking for any income they could find. And I remember people, because I owned a house at that point, and people would come by knocking on the door. Hey, I'm a handyman. Do you need any work?
Mm.
And they would sit there and they would come in and they would say, look, I have a screwdriver, I have a wrench, I have a hammer. And that was their claim to fame. And when you say, okay, all right, I need this done, come in and give me an estimate. And they look at it going, um, because they're not a handyman.
Mhm.
they're an imposter. So it's the same thing.
Right.
If you're
Try to
not
make a buck.
passionate and skilled and talented and all those things, you're going to be found out real quick, real quick.
Yeah. The one thing I like about us, we don't pretend to be people we're not. We tell the truth. We
Mhm.
are who we are. That's why we do this podcast, because we
Yeah.
love to help people. And I
Yep.
think it shows in our demeanor. You can watch these videos and show that and see that we're not
Mhm.
just talking out of the sky. We pick topics that we know we like to help people with, that kind of go to our core roots of who we are.
Right.
And as you said earlier, we both have chased our dreams. It's a perfect topic for today, that we're still chasing these dreams. It's a dream of ours that we want to make happen. And I'm not going to stop until I achieve it. I die trying, you know?
Yeah. Me too. And
Yeah.
then you said it perfectly, which is two normal guys. We're not sponsored, so we're not beholden to anybody. This is our life experiences that hopefully we can help somebody else. And that's why we do these. Because, like I said, we find topics that we believe the audience would like. And again, we still welcome any suggestions from anybody out there. But let us know if you want us to talk about anything. If you want to come on as a guest, by all means, you're welcome. There's no restrictions at all.
And we love
So,
comments. That's what
yeah.
I love about this. I always comment after all these. I try to come after all of these because I really want people to know,
Mm,
look at this and tell us what you think. I mean, they're only
yep,
what each episode is only about 30 minutes at max,
right,
and we don't want to waste a lot of time. I don't want to drag these things out for hours on a podcast, because I feel you'll
right,
lose your viewers' attention span. So you want to keep
correct,
them engaged,
correct, correct.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what a great topic, Steve. I love it.
Thanks.
I'm glad we chose this one. And yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's just it's 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 a dream partially coming true already.
Mm,
I'm doing what I want to do, and the dream will be fulfilled when I can say I'm in my RV in the middle of Arizona,
mm,
watching the sky, seeing those stars,
mm,
and look up at me like, here I am, living my dream of traveling this country, visiting city to city, and just
mm.
recording for businesses and helping them
Yep.
get better. You know?
Yep. You will get there. No question.
Yeah.
You will get there.
Yeah. Yep. 516-727-2294. Pick Steve's brain. He's got some great knowledge.
Yeah.
He's at least 20 years old. He's got plenty of knowledge.
At least 20. I love you. Okay. We won't go there. Okay. I won't tell you how old I am. But anyway, so Chuck is 410-935-6132. And he's more than knowledgeable. He's very, very, very good at what he does with businesses. So pick his brain. Maybe he can help yours as well.
Appreciate that, Steve. I really do. And, like I said, the same for you. I know for a fact from talking to you after these podcasts and through the weeks and the days, you know what you're talking about. And I said it before, that once I get in that position, you and I are going to be working on financials together, you know?
Thank you. Appreciate
So,
that. Thank you.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Another great episode. Appreciate you
It
coming
was.
on, spending the time on
Yep.
this Friday at 4, because
It's 4 o'clock somewhere.
love it.
Love
Steve,
it.
enjoy the rest of this day. Enjoy the
You too.
weekend. Hope everything works out great for you, and we'll talk soon.
You got it. Thanks, Chuck. Thanks, everyone.
Got it.
Take
Take
care.
care, Steve. Take
Bye.
care, everybody. Have a great weekend. See ya.
You got it. Bye.
Bye.
You've been watching the Friday at 4 podcast series with your host Charles Luttrell and co-host Steve Kent. Thanks for watching.